What's up, everyone? Tanya here with another episode of Pop Culture at Home, and today we are welcoming the very lovely and adorable winners of CBS's Love Island, Justine and Caleb, fresh off their win Wednesday night. You guys, congrats, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having us. We appreciate it.
So, let's get into it. What are you guys feeling this morning after that really sweet win?
I'm feeling a lot of things. I'm feeling so much excitement for sure. I did not think I'd even make it this far, and to be leaving with somebody like Caleb, I found what I came here for. So I just feel complete. I feel fulfilled for sure.
Yeah. And I'm still on cloud nine. Never thought that experience would be so fruitful for so many reasons. And just kind of feels like a dream still, honestly. Yeah. It hasn't hit us quite yet as far as like what's really just happened. But I'm sure it'll sink in the next few days.
So, Love Island's been such a fun and beloved show for a lot of viewers. Were you guys actually fans of it before signing on?
I was actually a huge fan. I'm like obsessed with the show. So I was like, I feel like I would thrive there. Bring me in.
I was a very casual viewer. I knew some of the stuff and I watched some of the challenges in the past, but I really didn't know very much about the show or the format and how it worked.
Mm-hmm. So there have been some really awesome moments on the season. What would you say was your favorite part of filming Love Island, aside from meeting each other, of course?
I would say the challenges. All of the challenges are so fun. They are really cool because we get to do really fun, over the top, messy, wild stuff. Don't have to clean up or anything, and just get to enjoy. Really fun.
Justine?
Yeah, I think I would probably say the same. Especially getting to do something different aside from, being in the villa. As much fun as that is, getting to leave and do crazy things, do fun things. That's definitely one of my favorites.
Was the supermarket aisle challenge like that, the shopping cart one, was it as gross as the way we watched it on TV?
It wasn't that bad for me. You're going to have to ask.
It's so crazy because going into it, I was like, being a fan of the show, I was like, I'm definitely dreading this. It's going to be terrible. But I don't know. I think Caleb and I are so competitive that in the moment, I wasn't even really thinking about how gross it was. I just was like, we have to win this. So, yeah. And then it's funny because the next morning I woke up, had a bowl of cereal, and I was like, I feel a little sick. But in the moment, it was not as bad as I expected.
So, favorite moments aside, what would you say was the most defining moment for you guys as a couple?
I think coming out of Casa Amor, and just seeing that both of us were on the same page and we wanted to pursue each other and be exclusive was amazing. And, her and I both took gambles on not choosing anyone else, and it really paid off. And I would say that was the true turning point in our relationship.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with that. I knew where my feelings were at in that moment and a little bit prior to that. And so to know that Caleb was on the same page, I think that was definitely the turning point.
Yeah, we saw your reaction, Justine, you were waiting. You told everybody at home that you were going to wait for Caleb. And when he was walking down those stairs, we could see what you were feeling. But Caleb, what was your reaction coming down those stairs? Were you also wondering, did she pick me? Did she go the other way? What was going through your mind during that moment?
I was so nervous all the way leading up into the point, and then right before I walked down the stairs, I had this feeling just come over me, and I was just like, I know that she is down there waiting on me. I could just feel it in the air, and walk down there smiling because I already knew that she was going to be down there, and sure enough, I was right, so it worked out really well.
That was seriously the cutest moment. And I feel like all of us at home, Justine, we felt your emotion in that whole moment. Cause it was such a rough start for you in the beginning. Was there any point where you kind of thought that, what kept you going, especially if you were so upset, and what actually drove you to stay on the show instead of just leaping out instead of everything that was happening?
A few things, actually. There was a point when Trey picked me instead of Caitlin, even though it was still rough after that, I just was like, I don't want to look back and regret it. And because I did have my doubts, wondering whether or not it should have been Caitlin instead of me. And so knowing that it wasn't, I was like, I have to keep going because somebody went home when it could have been her staying. And so I had to just like give it everything and just a lot of prayer.
Yeah. So, what I love most about you, and I know a lot of the fans love about you guys too, is that you're both so level-headed and you're very outspoken as well. And that you're so outspoken in the sense that you both know your worth, which is so important in a relationship. So I'm just wondering, was there any sort of, relationship that was happening in the villa that you wished you could have at least, given some advice to your friends? Because I think there was something that was going on in the beginning, obviously with James and Moira. And so, the way he kind of, I guess in the sense, gaslit her, as fans were saying on social media, was there any sort of reaction from your end that you kind of were not excited about that, especially since I know you are so close with Moira, Justine, that, America said that she was two-faced, which is completely off, it's just awful to say that, because I feel like they're mixing up her standards with being two-faced when she has standards of what she wants in a relationship. So what type of, what did you guys sense from that, like with your friends in the villa?
With Moira especially, it was one of those things where the more the public got their input, she started to feel guilty about almost all the decisions that she was making. And we just had to continue to remind her that this is why we're here. We're gonna go through several different people and relationships before we find the right one. And so for her to kind of start to feel guilty about, trying out different things and continuing to stay open, we just had to keep reminding her that this is part of the process and that it's okay. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think that for her, she definitely felt she had a hard time because she has the same, she said that she had the same issues on the outside. But even on the outside, it's part of dating. You have to kiss a few frogs.
Yeah. Caleb, do you have any thoughts on that whole situation, that because you were watching everything unfold?
Yeah. Justine was a lot closer to Moira and the rest of the girls. But I would say like one thing that was really challenging, like especially for Moira, was when we would get these little tidbits of information from the outside world, like whether it be a tweet challenge or the Fire and Ice challenge, or America Voted, is to like not let that distract you or change how you're doing things in here. Everyone in there had a really unique journey, unique path to get through there. Everyone carried themselves very well. And these little bits of information that we get from the outside world are just that. They're little bits. They don't tell the whole story. And I hope that all of our fellow Islanders realize that.
Was there any relationship in the villa that you didn't expect to happen? Like you didn't expect maybe to see, them hook up and to actually flourish into something? Was there any couple?
I would say Carrington and Laurel Carrington came a long way. I saw him grow a lot with Laurel. Laurel's a really sweet girl. And I didn't get to know her before Costume War, of course. But just to see that they were almost like opposites in nature, and sometimes opposites attract. And I really was happy to see like how that relationship was able to blossom near the end there.
Mm-hmm. Justine, do you have any takes on that?
I would definitely agree with that one. And especially because we weren't at Costume War, I wasn't over there, and so when they came down, I was like, okay. And then that first day speaking to Laurel, I for one was a little bit confused, but the more we saw them together and the more we saw how different and mature Carrington was, I was like, okay, I think this would be a good move for him. And, it ended up being just that, because he was able to grow up and the two of them just like flourished into something really beautiful.
And, now that you guys have won, what is the next step for the two of you as a couple outside of the villa?
Next steps are we need to spend some time together, away from cameras, away from phones, and continue to grow closer. I imagine that we are going to be doing quite a bit of traveling back and forth to see each other, but it's all good. We're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, you guys maybe have like a satellite home sort of thing where you guys keep coming back to like the same place, and it could be like a place that you both love. But that's just my idea, because like I was thinking about like what you guys were going to do, and I'm like, because it's so hard for some of the couples on the show because they're on different coasts. So I was thinking like a satellite office, like a satellite place.
We'll make it work. We'll that might be one of the ideas we consider.
Yeah, we'll take any more advice if anybody has it.
So I think actually one of the other questions that fans want to know is that what are you going to do with the prize money? Like Disneyland, vacation, nice, like, time out away from everything, obviously encompassing that?
It's going to go one of two ways for us.
Mm-hmm.
I have a really special helicopter date to follow up on. It's going to be really challenging to top that.
Yeah.
And there's also the fact that we have 17 kids on the way. So there's a lot of pressure there. That's a lot of tuition. So I might just end up saving it all.
Of course, that's really smart decision to make. And, before I let you guys go, I have to ask, now that you've both found love and everything that you've been through, what is the secret to a good relationship?
I think two things for me. I know that John Legend and Chrissy Teigen are one of my favorite couples because they definitely have more than just a romantic relationship. They have a friendship. And I think that Caleb and I were able to kind of build that a little bit first. And so we got way more comfortable with each other. And so the next thing I would say would be just like communication, definitely open communication. He challenged me to do that a lot more on the show. And then I also think that that's what yielded so much success, because we were able to just like talk about everything and be just completely open with each other.
Caleb, do you have any takes on that?
Yeah, I would just say that, I would encourage everyone and remind everyone that there is no blueprint to a relationship. There is a zillion different ways to go about a healthy relationship. Just make sure that you guys are always kind, and remember that you guys are on the same team and you're working towards a common goal, and you're never working against each other.
Justine, Caleb, I love you guys. I'm so happy for both of you. You guys are amazing, and I want to be your best friend right now. I wish you guys continued love and happiness. For those of you who are wanting to fall in love all over again, Love Island is available to watch on CBS All Access and on demand. For more on Love Island and all your favorite reality TV shows and stars, keep it locked to PopCulture.com.